Hello, 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 and welcome to day 4 of the Playbook Masterclass. So, first off, I want to start. If you are watching this, if you've watched 1, 2, 3, and 4, congratulations. Congratulations, because not a lot of people do this, to be honest, especially in this industry, of the personal development space, the learning and investing time for you. Not a lot of people actually sit and complete a program. Sit and get to day 3 of a program, to be honest. I should have said it yesterday, actually. I should have said it yesterday in module 3. Because again, people have such energy when they start. They're like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I signed up for this. I'm going to watch it. And then they watch module 1. And then there's homework with module 1, and they're like, okay, I'll think about the homework. And then day 2 comes, and they watch like half of day 2. Or like, okay, I'll try and do half. I'll try and do 2. And then day 3, they see that day 3 comes up, and like, I haven't even gone through day 2. Okay, let me find some time to go and do day 2. And then the time never actually happens. And then a couple of days go by. Oh shoot, like, okay, I need to finish up day 2, and then I need to go with module 3. Okay. And then by the time the whole module 4 comes out and the program's done, the masterclass is done, they're not even seeing this yet. They're not even seeing this. And they forget what we've talked about. They've forgotten. We have so much stuff going on in our day-to-day life. So much stuff. So much things just entering boop, 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 into our mind, taking away our focus, taking away where we want to be going. When we say that we sign up for something like this, the playbook, the schemes to use, the assignments to follow, the place to do, when we're focusing and giving energy on ourselves, for ourselves, sometimes, a lot of the times, our energy is taken away from us to focus on other people, other results that seem a little bit more satisfactory right away. Or not even that, it's just I have to do it for them because they have the expectation. They want me to follow through on this. They need me. My kids, my husband, the dog, the work. I need to show up for them first. I can take care. Okay, I got myself. I'm always going to be there. I can always take care of myself. I can always feel myself first, or feel myself up. Okay, I'll always tap back into it. Oh shoot, okay, shoot. Week goes by, 2 weeks go by. You're go for everybody else except for yourself, and you forget that there are things that you want to be doing for yourself. You forget the personal development work that you've done just for you. And you forget to actually implement it, integrate it, allow it to transform you. It's a lot easier to do, go, be for other people. We get a little bit of a hit of validation from other people when they see us for what we've done. But who's going to see us for what we do for ourselves? Not a lot of people, actually. Isn't it in the weight loss industry? It's like you see it in the first 4 weeks, and then it's like something about like a 4-week, 8-week, a 12-week period. People around you, maybe it's like the first 4 weeks you don't see anything, and the 4th week happens and you start to see it for yourself first. And the 8 weeks hits, and then somebody close to you who sees you every single day will say, like, I feel like you've changed a little bit. And then by the 12 weeks, then other people who are walking by you, or your cousins who don't really see you that much, or your coworkers who just kind of pass you by every now and then, they're like, you're different. Did you lose weight? Did you lose weight? Something's a bit different about you. It's at the 8-week and the 12-week mark is when we get validation for working on us. But sometimes it's the instant validation when we work on something for other people. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. You didn't have to do this, but I like so appreciate it. Good work. Good work. Good job. Thank you so, sweetie, thank you so much for taking out the trash. Thank you so much for cleaning the entire house. It's so nice to come home to a clean house. And meanwhile, we're going and like cleaning the house like crazy because we're like, they need to have a clean house when they get home. And you're stressed out and you're frustrated and you're overwhelmed and you're like, I didn't even get anything done on the to-do list of like what I need to get done for the house, but like I need to make sure the house is done because my husband's going to come home and see a crazy house and be like, what the heck did you do today? My kids need me to be there always. I have to take them here. I have to take care of them. I have to. Like, they rely on me. If it's not me, then who? Thanks, mommy. Or bye, mommy. Oh, I love you, mommy. You give us a hug. We get validation from other people almost instantly. Sometimes, I hope, when you do things for other people in your life, I hope you're getting validation. But the hard truth is that a lot of the times we're doing these things either for the validation, for someone else to see us, to give us love, to see our worthiness, to see our value. But we're doing it at the detriment of our own self quite often. Quite often. Not all the time, but quite often. Again, you've had those days. We talked about energy yesterday. We've had those days where it's like, boom, 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 boom. Yes, yes, I got it done. I got it done. Look at me. I cleaned the house. Look at me. I got this thing done. I sent out this email. I did this speaking thing. I just gave my husband the best like love night tonight. Woo. I hit everything that I want to do. Boom, boom, boom. We've had those days. And then we've also had the days where you are just like running like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to get everything done. And then you're like freaking out about cleaning the house before your partner comes home so that they come home to a clean house. Raise your hand if you've ever done that. And I enjoy cleaning. Cleaning is cathartic to me. But I've had times where I'm like, I need to get this done. I should be getting this done. This should be something that I can do. I should be going grocery shopping. I should do this. I should do that. I should do this. I need to, like, this is what I should be doing. Why can't I do this? And this is where we're coming from a different energy in those two different instances. And we have to be so clear about that. We have to be so clear about the context of how we walk through our day and the energy that we're holding and the emotions that we're experiencing as we're walking with this context for this plan to fulfill this promise that we've made to ourselves. But again, on paper, sometimes it looks like we're doing what we should be doing. On paper, it looks like we are doing what we should be doing, yet it doesn't feel like it. That's body wisdom, to acknowledge that what you're doing is not in alignment. You're doing it wrong. And so what I want you to get from this final module is the most powerful module in this that I really want you to just hone in on is that you have to take care of you first. You have to be 100%. You have to. Nobody else is going to give you. Sorry, my gratitude. I think that's gone off every single time. But nobody is going to give you what you can't give yourself. You have to make sure that you're at 100 so that when you do the things in your playbook, the strategies that you're like, okay, I want to get to this point. This is my goal. And then you start to, you understand where the strategy is coming from. You take your first step, you take your first couple steps, you start running, that you're not running from a deficit. You're not running trying to hit this goal so that once you hit that goal, that result, then you've made it. Then you have this validation. Then you're worthy. That's not it. The next sequence in this playbook is for you to grab onto this playbook, and before you even run the first play, you know that you are the one to make this promise, this end game result come to fruition. You have to know that that is your absolute truth. Because right now, if you're watching this right now, we want to create a plan. If you're anything like me, you're like, okay, just give me the things to do. Give me the things to do, Katy. I want to know what to do. I have yes, I have so much motivation. Okay. I know the promise that I'm going to make. Okay. I know that there's a playbook that I need to tap into. I know the context of how I want to walk. I know the differences between goals, but I also do know that I really want to hit those goals. And then, oh, thank you so much. Okay, I know the energy that I need to be focusing in on. I know when I'm out of alignment versus in alignment with my desired promise. Okay, what do I do? Tell me, what do I do? Here's the thing. Every playbook out there, every strategy out there works if you're the one. If you are the one. So let me tell you a story that I've talked about on my podcast, but it's been such a pivotal shift for me that I want to gift to you as well too. So I started on this journey, knowing that there's a deeper sense in terms of behavioral changes. So that's what I studied for my thesis when I was in graduate school. I studied so much, so much. But one of the things was really looking at behavioral changes. What influences behavioral changes? I was looking at habit development, and I was more nuanced and niched down into body image and just how does the way that you feel about your body dictate the behaviors that you create. But the one thing with looking at behavioral shifts and behavioral changes is that there's so much how to do it out there. Literally Google anything that you want right now. Google how to lose weight, how to start a business, how to grow an audience, how to get a raise, how to get a relationship of my dreams, how to have better sex, how to have better hair. There's how to, so many different strategies will come back to you. So many different strategies that are true for the ones that it works for. For the ones. Every strategy out there, every how-to out there works. But you're like, but it's not working for me. I know. Every strategy out there's no, but okay, you don't understand like where I'm coming from, Katy. You don't understand the situation that I'm at. The kids are like distracting me all the time. My husband isn't supportive with me. Just the work that I have to do, it gets in the way. I just don't like meal prepping. I can't work out like after work, or like I want to work out in the morning, but the baby is screaming all the time, and like it's waking me up, and I feel like I'm lacking sleep. So I'm choosing between lack of sleeping or like working out, and then after work I'm just so exhausted and I don't get the water in because I'm so distracted, but I'm also wanting to get the sprays. We have situations. Every strategy works if you are the one. So what determines being the one? You just choose it. You just choose it, that I'm the one, that this is going to work. I make this work. I make this work. Nobody can say it else differently. How do I know that? Because how would let's say your best friend said, I'm the one. I'm the one who's going to do it like this. And sat there and said it with all of her belief. I'm the one. I'm the one. What are you going to say to her to tell her that's not true? There's nothing. If someone believes it so vehemently that they are the one, that is their truth, there's nothing that you can say to tell her that's not it. There's nothing that you can say. Sure, you might try to jab at it, throw some mean words out there, get her down, bully her. But if she vehemently believes, without a shadow of a doubt, that she is the one, she's gonna do this. She's the one. She's the one. She believes it. It's the one. What are you gonna say to her to take that away from her? You can't. You don't have that power. So why do we give that power to other people? If she can claim that she's the one, and as long as she holds that to be true for her, and there's nothing that you could ever say that takes that away from her because she knows it in her heart to be true, then why do we let other people do that to us? Why do we sit here and walk around and question, are we the one? Do I know that I can do this? I don't know if I can do this. Does my husband even think that I can do this? What about my best friend who sees me on social media, like posting about living this beautiful life? Or my colleague at work who has been in this position way longer than me. And he deserves a raise more than I do. He thinks that he deserves more of the raise than I do. Why do I think that I deserve the raise over him? Why? What about that other mom who's battling having 3 kids, and I'm over here sitting like I am figuring out that I'm going to be the best mom for my child? How, like, she has it so much worse than me. Like, how can I claim that I'm the one that's going to raise my baby like this and be so happy and so content when I don't even know what I'm going to be like when I have 3 kids? We let other people come into and get in the way of us claiming the truth that we are the one. Why? Because we want validation. Again, we're going around left and right trying to get a, oh my gosh, you're amazing. Yes, good job from all the people around us in our world. And we're using that, the amount of validation, the raises that we get, the successes, the results that we get, we're using that to dictate what our worth is, what our value is, to give us the social proof. Oh yeah, I am the one. I can do this because I had this result. This is where we stumble and we fall and we second guess ourselves and we self-sabotage and we just slow ourselves down because we forget that all that other stuff doesn't matter. What matters is claiming you are the one to do this now and figuring out a way for this to be true for you, no matter what. No matter what. So again, I had this question with my mentor of asking the how question. How do I do this? How do I do it? How do I do this? And so I wrote out, I was in this program with my mentor, Melanie Ann Lair, and I wrote a question out for her. And again, it was a how question. It was, how do I do this? How do I accomplish this result? And her response to my how question shifted everything. So I'm going to read her response to you right now. Give me one moment. I want to get the full response. Okay. So Again, the question that I asked does not matter. The question I asked was, how do I get this result? So how many times have you asked this question? How do I grow an audience? How do I lose weight? How do I exercise every single day? How do I eat healthier? How do I build a better relationship with my fiance, my husband, my partner? How do I become more organized? How do I insert result? This is the answer. If you've asked a how do I, this is my answer to you. You have got to know that you're a big deal. You have got to know that you can do this, because nobody else is ever going to be able to tell you in a way that you're going to keep believing it long term. It's got to be you. It can't be anybody else. You've got to trust this for you. It's got to be your knowing of you. So, what do you need to do on a daily basis to believe in yourself more? That's the only question. Do you need to make promises and keep them? Do you need to achieve something? What do you need to do? Do you need to clean your closet? Do you need to clean your kitchen? Do you need to start walking? Do you need to drink more water? What do you need to start to do so that you never question that you can do something again? Because you need to know that you're the one. You need to know that you are capable of anything. You need to trust in you as the leader of your life. How do I ... How do I get this result ... You need to know that you are the one that can do it, that you are the leader of your life. It cannot come from any other person. It can't. It can't, because when we're doing that, then we're running around with our heads chopped off, just trying to, like, give me validation, give me validation. Say I'm pretty, say I'm good, say you love me. It's not, we're missing the mark. We're missing the mark. Because it's when we don't claim this as our absolute truth, the failures that you will have are going to hurt a hell of a lot more. And they're going to actually make you question your value. It's going to make you question, can you do this? Versus going through what you went through and then looking at it and extracting the gold of what went well, what didn't go well, and then go again. What went well, what didn't go well, go again. What went well, what didn't go well, go again. This is why in sports, in football, they spend so much time studying the playbook, but then also reviewing film from the last game, from the game before. And they're looking at, Tom Brady's not looking at that saying that he threw a interception and being like, I am the worst. I suck. No, it's him course correcting and pivoting and figuring out, okay, what led to me throwing that interception? And that's how he became the greatest of all time. By looking at where he was at, staying in his own lane, knowing he is the one, and saying, I'm going to show people what I'm made of. I'm going to show them because I'm the one. He believed it first and foremost. Nobody told him. They tell him at the 8-week mark or the 12-week mark, or whatever that time is in his career. But he chose on day one, I'm going to be the one. And it's the beginning part is usually the hardest part. It's that 4 weeks. Again, I'm using these 4 weeks because this is what I started out with, but we don't believe in time in this. So whatever the 4 weeks looks like, it's that beginning stretch where you're trying to cultivate the belief in you without actually seeing the results that are coming in. It's the hardest thing for us to do. It's the hardest thing. Belief without validation. It's the hardest thing. And the only way that we can keep going through it in the most powerful stance as possible is to not need results to validate us. It's to walk knowing we are the one, that it's 100%. It's our truth. So that when things do happen, when people do say, like, if you've ever, like, this is the crazy thing, so much of it is that because we are the main character in our world, in our life, in our story. We're the main character. That's how we view our life. That's how we walk through our life. But then Ryan's the main character of his life. My mom's the main character of her life. And then I'm a secondary character or a third character in their. I better be the secondary character in Ryan's life. Maybe Cabby is a secondary character. Just kidding. I'm the romantic interest in Ryan's world. I'm my mother's child. I'm not the main character. They're not walking through saying, like, how is Katy going to think about this? Yet, sometimes when we walk through our life, we think other people are thinking the same thing about us. We're walking through life, we're questioning our own self, and then we think that Ryan, who's the main character in his story, because I am so much focused, I'm the main character, I must be the main character in his. He must be thinking the same thing about me. He must be seeing my result or my lack of result and judging me. No. He's thinking about his own problems, his own results, his own success. Yet we think that people are thinking of us in the same way that we're thinking about ourselves. But we're the only ones that are so focused in on our own world. It doesn't matter what other people are thinking about us, to be honest. And we don't need that validation. Because when we can allow ourselves to not need the validation from other people, then at the same time too, it doesn't cut us down when there is lack of validation, or worse, when there is actually people trying to take something away from us, pull us down. When there's a version of us that is full, completely, just like imagine every part of me is maxed out because I've claimed myself to be 100. It's like doop 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 doop. I'm charging myself. I am full. I am fully charged up. When someone gives me validation, it's not going to change. It might, like, maybe charging was the worst part, or not the right way to think about this. But it's like I'm overflowing then with energy. It's like they're adding on to what I know myself to be true already. They're adding on to it. They're adding on to it. And it feels so good when I'm coming from like this stance versus if I'm here just right at the neck. I'm like, oh, I'm pretty good. But there's still like a version of me that kind of, I like some validation and just like makes me feel like, thank you. Oh, what did you say? Oh, thank you. It adds something to me because there's something part of me missing. Add that. I get high. And at the same time too, if I'm right up here in my knowing of who I am, but there's still a little bit of a question mark, the moment someone does, they don't even, here's the crazy part. They don't even have to say anything to question me or to put me down or to just say, look at what she thinks she can do. But there being lack of validation, this question mark, then I'm like, do they have that question mark? Because they didn't fill up this question mark to make it an exclamation point or at, like, come on, just give me like a decimal point. Like, I don't need, just complete the sentence. It doesn't have to be an exclamation point, but you're leaving this question mark like they don't have to say anything. But when we're needing validation to know our own worth, the silence sometimes is our brain will fill it up, which is our brain's job to do, by the way. We have a doomsday. Wee, 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 danger, danger. That's ingrained in us. It's like the reason why we've survived. Our ancestors way, way back in the day needed this so that we can get away from the saber-toothed tiger. But because we're not in the ice age anymore, we still have that part in our brain. It's the critter brain. The critter brain is just survive or die. And it helps you survive. It's the critter brain. It's very, I either live or I am dying. And because we have this part of us, when we aren't 100%, when we're just here and there's a question mark of, I don't know what I am right now, our critter brain will be like, that question mark is doomsday. That question mark is worst case scenario. That question mark, you're looking for somebody else to fill that question mark. But by doing that, we allow somebody else to dictate us versus your friend who's like, I am so solid in myself. And there's nothing that we could ever do to take that away from her. But we can add to it, right? We can be like, I'm so proud of you too. And she'd be like, thank you. Thank you. I'm like really proud of myself too. Thank you. So looking back here, what do you need to do on a daily basis to believe in yourself more? That was a question that helped me really refocus on where I was putting my attention. My attention doesn't need to be on what do I need to do today to make sure that Ryan loves me? Make sure Ryan's happy, that Ryan doesn't think I'm a piece of crap if I am having the house a mess. It's how do I need to act to make it so I love me more today? What do I need to do so I love me more? Again, we're running around trying to get validation, especially too when we have these big audacious promises to make for ourselves. We just get pulled back into people-pleasing mode or living in this, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. The strategy says this is the way to do it. I'm not seeing the results yet. Question mark, insert right here. It's not it. Every strategy in your playbook will work. I promise you. But it's looking at how do we make sure that we are 100% good going into that strategy. That even if this strategy doesn't work right off the bat, how do we make it so that it works for us? This is how you create staying power. And this is how you create personal power versus circumstantial power. Circumstantial power is when things are good, things are good. And then when things are bad, things you just are knocked off. We want to strengthen ourselves so that when things are bad, we have this personal power to tap into, and we have staying power to stay the course. We're not knocked off. Sure, if we do get knocked off, if we have these feelings of shame, frustration, guilt, embarrassment, fear, failure, we know how to hold ourselves through that. We just let it move through us. Remember, we just talked about breathing. There's so many other, there's tapping, there's breathing, there's watching a movie and just letting, if you're sad, just associate that sadness with the movie. Just let yourself cry it out. If you're anxious, go and like physically run the anxiety out of your body. Have you ever felt anxiousness and you're like, I don't know how to move this body? Have you ever ran until you couldn't run no more? Have you ever cried until you couldn't cry anymore? Have you ever journaled all day? Just getting it out, getting it out, getting it out, getting it out. That's how you move through these emotions. You let it move through you. So that when these emotions do come up that make you question whether or not you're the one, like it's not about pushing through that anymore. It's not faking it till you make it. It's can you let that wash through you because you're the one. And that's where this is the conversation about standards is a really important part of this piece as well too. Of just looking at your promise to yourself, and in your playbook there has to be, we have to significantly raise our level of standards for ourselves right now. We have to have the highest of standards of what is good for us. We have to raise our standards if we want to fulfill these promises no matter what. And your standard looks like claiming you are the one. It's having a level of self-worth that is unshakable. Unshakable. Can you do that? And the question isn't, can I? It's will you, to be honest. Because there's nothing getting in the way of this. There's absolutely nothing getting in the way. All it takes is you claiming it. And all it takes is you just reminding yourself every single day of this promise that you've made to yourself. That's it. That's it. And asking yourself, this is a beautiful practice, is asking yourself, what do you need to do today to remind yourself that you are the one? And it can be as simple as, I need to clean the house. I need to see a beautiful environment around me. It can be, I follow through on my word that I'm going to move my body and honor my body and feel good about it. And this is where we start to reframe our focus of what I should be doing versus I do this because this is who I am. Everything that we have on our list that's a should be doing, usually it's like our brain, we think it makes sense in our brain, like why we should be doing this, right? It's responsible for the family. It's for your health. It's good for you. We should be doing this, but it doesn't feel right in our body. This is how you make it feel right in your body, is you reclaim it as a testament of you being the one. Why are you doing this? And if you can't create that connection, drop that thing then. It doesn't matter. If you can't see how the things that you have on your to-do list creates you as being the one, drop that shit real fast. Because the reason why that's on your to-do list or on your list of shoulds is you upholding somebody else's standard of who you are for them versus your standard of who you know is right and true for you. Let that one sink in. Because if there's things on your should list, I should be doing this, I should do this more. And if you struggle to follow through on that, and when I asked you, how does this apply to you proving to yourself that you're the one? If that doesn't help you follow through on that, then either you need to significantly raise the standard that you have for yourself. You need to raise that standard so high because you are the most important thing. You are the most important for you. So if you can't see that, your standard has to raise. It has to. Or that task, that should, belongs to someone's standard of who you should be. And the reason why it's so hard for you to follow through or for you to see how this is good for you to accomplish, to feel fulfilled in, it's because it's not in alignment with what you know is your standard of you being the one. It's someone else's standard. So this is where we need to tidy things up, clean things up a little bit, understand the things that we're doing every single day, the strategies that we're implementing to be it all, do it all, have it all. They should feel good. They should feel alignment, and they should start to build up social proof that you are the one. Yet we're allowing other people's, because we've come from a place of needing validation, we're allowing other people's standards of who we should be to dictate who we should be. And this is where we have the big question mark in our head. Because if they don't tell us that we fulfilled it or not fulfilled it, we question who we are. And then and this is the sequence. Being influences what you do, and what you do and who you're being influences what you have. So if you're questioning who you are because you're waiting for someone else to tell you and define that to you, then you're going to question what you're doing. Maybe not all the time, but some of the time. And then you look at your life and you're questioning, like there's discontent for what you have in your life. It's a sequence. So it all goes back to, who are you being? That's the first step. And we just have to make it so we are unshakable in who we're being. Unshakable. And it starts with just claiming, I am the one, and working, not even working on it, because it's just, we have these good days where we feel so confident, and then we have our bad days where we do not feel confident. What's the difference? There really, usually there's no, it's how you feel. Okay, how do you replicate the good days? I don't know. It just happens. So there's nothing for you to do except for to remind yourself daily that you are the one. I'm going to reread what my mentor told me. You have got to know that you're a big deal. You have got to know that you can do this, because nobody else is ever going to be able to tell you in a way that you're going to keep believing it long term. It's got to be you. It can't be anybody else. You've got to trust this for you. It's got to be your knowing of you. So what do you need to do on a daily basis to believe in yourself more? Do you need to make promises and keep them? Do you need to achieve something? What do you need to do? Do you need to clean your closet? Do you need to clean your kitchen? Do you need to start walking? Do you need to drink more water? What do you need to start to do so that you never question that you can do something again? Because you need to know that you're the one. You need to know that you are capable of anything. You need to trust in you as the leader of your life. What do you need to do to remind yourself every single day that you are the one? No questions asked. We have to start making sure that we are 100% good. 100% good. We're good. I got me. I've got me. This is where in my journey, and this reminded me, because literally the post right underneath of this is me working out, me posting a video of working out. There is something magical too, of not even magical, but it's here's the tip. Here's the strategy. Is when we're reaching for really big things in our life, again, to be it all, do it all, have it all. The promise that you're making for yourself. I talked about this in one of my podcast episodes called Halftime, which I think was around the 39 mark. It's creating predictable, possible, and potential goals. This is something that I do at the beginning of the year, and then also at the mid-year. But instead of doing New Year's resolutions, But what I love about predictable goals is that there's stuff that reminds me that I am the one. They're those quick hits of serotonin, of crossing off the to-do list. I did that. I did that. I did it. I'm consistent. Consistency compounds. So when I start to compound these predictable goals that I wanted to do, it makes me believe in the possible goals, the things that like have a little bit more oomph in them, that aren't a you do it or you don't. It's the possible, or like I think I can do this if I plan it out a little bit more. And then consistency compounds. Then it's the potential goals of like, what if this happens? And that's how we create magic in this world. So a predictable goal for you is asking yourself, what is something that I can do today to remind myself that I am the one? Give yourself a quick serotonin hit. This is where the strategy, the plan comes into play. We get consistent with things. We build the momentum. Momentum builds motivation. When we just keep reminding ourselves, when we create the plan, and then every single day keep reminding ourselves, I am the one, I am the one, I am the one. I've got this. I can do this. I've got this. What? I'm the one. I'm the one. You're the one. I can't tell you more. That was in the thing. Nobody is ever going to tell you more, and it's going to feel more true than you knowing it to be true. That's the biggest thing in personal development that, like, I remember I gave my dad the Tony Robbins book, and he goes, this guy's a scam artist. The reason why personal development gets this bad rep is because people don't claim that they are the one, that they are equal to Tony Robbins. Equal power, but different. We don't have to look for gurus anymore. We don't have to look for like, oh, you know everything. Tell me what to do and I will follow you. It doesn't have to be culty. It's just you are the one. Claim it to be true. Up level, significantly level up your standards. What does that look like? If you are the one, ask yourself this. For me to know that I am the one, what are my standards? What are my standards in my relationships, in my career? What are the standards in the way that I treat myself, my health, my finances? Look at different areas in your life that are important for you and say, what is my standard? What's my standard? Is it talking to yourself better? When we have high standards, this is where, when our standards are high, people do not question you when you uphold your standards. I want you to ask yourself, who do I know in my life that has the highest standards that I know? Who has really strong standards? This could be a parent, a sibling, a colleague of yours. It could be even looking at, who do you look up to in the personal development space? Rachel Hollis, Tony Robbins, Oprah, Beyonce. Who are people that you view and you see that have high standards for themselves? When they walk into a room, how do you act? How would you act? If they set a boundary with you, do you question that boundary? If they say that they're going to do something, do you question that? You say, I don't really, No, when people have high standards for themselves, there's an energetic match of respect that we give people. When there's low standards of how people act and carry themselves, we automatically lower our respect for them. Have you ever had somebody that you saw a side of them, you're like, I do not enjoy that side of you, whether it's a way that they talk to a waiter or a waitress, a server, whether it's a way that they talked about you or about somebody that you cared about behind their back. When people show us their standard of how they act, there's a match of our respect for them. So I want you to look at your relationship with yourself right now. What are the standards that you're upholding yourself? And what's the energetic match of the respect that matches that standard for you? This is radical self-responsibility right here, is to take ownership of where is my standard and what's the level of respect that I'm commanding with this standard of how I'm treating me. Not how you talk to other people. It's what's your standard for how you carry you at all hours of the day. Because inherently, too, as other people will have an energetic match of their respect for you, you have a level of respect for you as well, too. And if your standards are low, then your respect for yourself is also low. And that's why you don't feel like you're the one. Because if we can't respect ourselves, if there's no respect, then, and if we're the only ones that can claim that it's the truth that we're the ones, we're going to knock it down so fast because there's no respect for our word to ourselves when our standards are low. So that's why we have to have such a high level of self-importance in this world, in this work. We have to significantly raise our level of self-importance and our standards of what is right for us to make our life iconic, incredible, magic, one for the ages. Like when you are an old and gray and you look back at your life, you're like, I'm damn proud of this. I'm damn proud of this life that I lived. We have to raise our standards and our level of self-importance right now. And by raising your level of self-importance, it doesn't mean that your heart doesn't raise up either. We know those people that are just like so self-absorbed and so like, oh, you think you're that important and you're talking to that person like that? That's not what I'm talking about here. It's raising your self-importance and raising your heart at the same time too. So we can love more, serve more, be more for other people without sacrificing ourselves. Because we're not loving more and being more and doing more for other people for their validation anymore. We're loving more and doing more and being more for other people because it makes us love us more. And it makes us do more for ourselves too. And then we be more for ourselves and for the people that we love in this world. It compounds and it compounds and it compounds and it compounds. This isn't easy work. Holding this playbook that we've chosen to walk with. This isn't easy work because at the same time that we're leveling up, people around us aren't doing the same work. And so if you're anything like me and you just like kind of go around spitting this stuff out, people are going to be annoyed with you. Because they're going to view it and be like, you think you're better than me? No one's actually ever said that. But at the same time, too, I talk about this stuff and people are like, okay, we get it, Katy, we get it. This takes a lot of personal power to hold this level of standard. And it doesn't have to be about you parading this around. In fact, that's not the way to do this either. We're not going around this because if you're parading this around to see, look at me, look what I'm learning, look, I'm the one. Tell me I'm the one. If it's a look at me, you're still searching for validation. There's still the question mark. And this look at me, little cute little voice can turn into the gremlin voice of look at me. And that gremlin voice can be like, you're not enough. I gotta take a sip of water after that one. You have got to know that you are the one. I was asking the how questions, just like I'm sure you're asking the how questions not long ago. And I thought I knew all the personal development stuff. And the beautiful thing about this is that it gets deeper and deeper and deeper and will go deeper. And the moment that you think, I've conquered it all, there'll be another something of like, what the heck is going on here? And that's part of, I don't know, it's part of the journey, as cliche as that sounds. But that's also part of like, what if I told you right now that you're gonna be the best you'll ever be right now? This is the best it'll ever get. Or once you get where you want to go, that's the best there is. I'd be like, oh shoot. That doesn't sound so fun. I want you to be like, we got here. Okay, now where we're going. Okay, let's go more. And with the go more will be pivots and failures and try again. But what makes it feel like a ping-ponging, like, oh, I had a good day. Oh my gosh, I had a bad day. Oh, I had a good day. Oh, I had a bad day. Where it's exhausting. So when we don't claim that we are the ones and we walk from there every single day. Consistency compounds. I used to say this to my one-on-one clients so much, and I still do. Consistency compounds. At first, I thought that was just, okay, work out every single day. It's going to compound. It's going to compound. Like it'll get easier and easier and easier. Eat good every single day. Consistency compounds. But what I forgot and what I didn't even see, consistency in who you're being compounds. If you're good one day, bad one day, good one day, bad one day, what are we compounding here? But if you remind yourself every single day, you're the one. I'm the one. I'm the one. I'm the one. Consistency compounds. And the compound effect will kick in. As long as we're just diligent and we're so focused and present on today, claiming and reminding ourselves, I am the one today. That's the work. The work moving forward of creating the plan is to just look at, okay, the promise that I make, the end game that I want to do, what based off of what I know right now, what's the best way to get there? Let's reverse engineer this right now. You know what to do. You know what to do. Sometimes we're just a little bit afraid because the only thing that's getting in our way is the fear of what if it doesn't work? What if it doesn't work? That's the only thing that's keeping us from taking action. What if this doesn't work? What if I mess it up? What if it takes longer than I think it's going to take? What if I what if it doesn't work? What if I fail? What if I lose everything? That's the fear of the fear. What if it doesn't work? That's the only thing that's stopping us from going. And when we claim, I am the one, I'm the one that will make this work. What if it doesn't work? Doesn't matter. I'm the one. I'm going to make it work. I'm the one. I'm the one. I'm the one. The fear that this isn't cooking right. Here, I like this one. You have a bag of popcorn and you see the directions. You get the strategy. Microwave in oven for 3 minutes and you put it in. And it's like, okay, the strategy. I've seen people pop popcorn bags before. Let's put it in. 3 minutes. You're watching. What's wrong? And then the first 2 minutes hit. You're like, nothing has happened. I have a bat. Like, I am broken. My bag of popcorn is broken. And then we like take the oven out, we take the bag out to check on it. Is it hot? Like, what is going on here? You gotta close it and wait, and it'll just like, pop. One popped. But she has all the popcorn. Like, her bag is popping already. 2 pop. 3 pop. Bloop, bloop, pop, 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 pop. The bag pops. But we question ourselves. We question, is this working? So we take the bag out of the microwave sometimes. Even though the strategy said 3 minutes. It'll take 3 minutes. Yeah, but it's been 2. I feel like it should be more consistent. We unplug because we fear that it's not working. You know what to do. Google it. You know what to do. If you don't know what to do, find somebody that does. Figure it out from them. But what they're going to say to you isn't going to work unless you know you are the one. Because they can say, put this bag in the microwave for 3 minutes. And at the first, you're just going to be looking at, is it working? Is it working? Is it working? Is it working? I have a messed up bag. You take it out. You check to see, is this bag working? We question our bag because there's a question mark. Versus you are the one. You got this. You've got this. You know what to do. All that's stopping you is the fear of I don't know if this is working. And so you unplug. You take yourself out of the microwave. How do we know when things are baked? You put a cake in the oven. Like, when do I know it's done? You keep looking at it. You keep opening up the oven and letting the heat out. But I don't know if it's working. Trust. Like, what if I like miss some ingredients? Okay. When it's cooked, based on the instructions that you were given, like, just wait. It's okay. It'll take time. We just keep unplugging because we fear. We're looking at the oven. We're like, it's not rising. You keep opening up. Is it working? No, just wait. Consistency compounds. But what are you being consistent at? Are you being consistent in asking, is this working? Is this working? Are you being consistent at unplugging yourself? Or are you being consistent at, I am the one, and I remind myself every single day of that? What is your consistency? What are you compounding? Are you compounding the fear of, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if I'm enough. What's your mindset every single day? That's the consistency is compounding. Even if you're working out every single day, you're like, I don't know if this is going to work. This is where we've heard examples of people losing the weight, but still having body dysmorphia. Because that whole time that they were doing the exercises, they were doing it in the form of, I'm not enough. I'm not enough. I'm too big. I'm too big. I got to get smaller. I got to get smaller. I remember watching Say Yes to the Dress, and it was this woman that was struggling with body dysmorphia, and she was at the smallest she's ever been. She was smaller than, like, she was small, but still she saw herself as not enough. Consistency compounds. If you're going about, and this, I'm not saying that this is body dysmorphia is a mental struggle. And I'm not saying this is what she went through at all too, but this is what a lot of us are doing to ourselves, is we're doing things where, like, consistency compounds, exercise every day, but you're doing it in the mindset of lack, of I'm not enough, I'm not enough, I'm not enough, I'm not enough. Consistency will compound that mindset. So even when you are seeing the results, you're not going to see the results that you want. You might see the results that you want, but you're not going to experience the fulfillment that you want. You're going to see yourself, your body, as not enough. Post every single day to build your business. You're going to start posting every single day. But if behind that is, I don't know if I'm enough, I don't know if I'm enough, I don't know if I'm enough, you're going to need people to like that post. And the moment that there's less posts than yesterday, you're like, what do I do? Even though you got like 100 likes on something, but yesterday you got 150 likes. Or today you got 10 likes, and yesterday you got 11 likes. Today you got 5 likes, 2 likes. If you're coming from the place of, I need people like me, I need people like me, consistency compounds. So we gotta tidy things up right now. I am the one. What do I do today to make me love me more? What kind of compounding could happen from there? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to experience. That's what I want you to experience. So guys, that's all I have for you on this final module for the playbook. With that, I gave you a lot of action steps, the homework, but basically the one homework that I want you to do is, for the next week, see how this shifts you. Journal about what it means to be the one. Journal about what it looks like to significantly raise your standards. And then for the next 7 days, ask yourself, what do I need to do today to remind myself that I am the one? Just test this out. Play with this one. Experience this one. This one's fun. But this one does come from my word is law. I'm going to have to do this, because this isn't an easy thing to prioritize, because this isn't something that we've been taught to do. We've been taught to be nice girls, and nice girls do things for other people. Nice girls make sure that other people are happy. We're not nice girls. We are great women. So play with this one. Have fun with this one. That's all I have for you at this moment. And I will transition right now. If you feel complete, this is it. I will transition to talk about a few upcoming programs that I have. So the first program that is currently happening, that'll go until August 31st. So today is August 24th. This program is live until August 31st, is my program called Halftime. So Halftime is the process that I went through this is the same process that I do to start my year, and this is the same process that I do. I have to remind myself of what I want to be doing at the half point. I have to give myself kind of that momentum of the first year, the first month, the first start of a new year. So it's really focusing in on creating the plan for the next 3 to 4 months. It's a 3-month program, but this can be utilized as creating a plan for the next year from that time, or creating a plan for the next half of the year, creating the next plan for the next 3 months, whatever it looks like for you. This is where all these programs that I'm going to be talking about are one-on-one programs. I really love doing the one-on-one program. Actually, not all of them. Okay, I misspoke. The majority of them are one-on-one programs. But halftime is really just if you want to craft your staying power, your ability to follow through. This is more so of, I talk about, and this is again, I got this from Melanie and Larry because when she said this is, and that's my mentor, I was like, this is great. I need to know this. I need to integrate this more. We have the badass, the goddess version of us, and the boss. The badass is the one that does. It's our doing power. It's when we say we're going to do something, we follow through. There is no running around being like, I should be doing this, I should be doing that, I should be doing that. No, our badass, the strength of our badass is we zone in and we get it done. We zone in, get it done. We zone in, get it done. This program is about zoning in, getting it done. And with that comes space to be like honestly, the more that I've integrated this and the more that I've stuck to it, zone in, boom, the more freedom I've had, the more life I've been living, the more intentionality that I have every single day. To not just be, running around trying to play catch up. This is the focus for today. This is what I have planned in today. Get it done. Boom, done, freedom. And it's also just a reminder as well, too, of what you want in this life, in the next year, in the next 6 months, in the next 3 months. What do you want to be experiencing? What do you want to be doing? What do you want to have? Let's actually create a plan to do all of that. To do it all. And not just a flu. We're just going to set goals, and then every single day I'm going to be your accountability coach, and we're just going to check it off, and I'm going to make you do it. No, it's not that. It would be a little bit of that as comes one-on-one coaching. But with it comes this level of, I can do so much, is what I want you to come from this program. I want you to feel like an absolute badass as we finish this program. And I want you, we're planning in more love. More is really what it is. It's planning a life of more. So if you're interested in halftime, all of these things, just send me a direct message either on Instagram or Facebook Messenger. I will respond, whichever one. And if you have questions about also, and I know I haven't talked about the other ones, but if you have questions, we can hop on a call. I'd be happy to talk about these and really just kind of know where you're coming from. The second program that is coming up, this program is starting on August. October 2nd. So October 2nd, I am creating the micromind of the total transformation system. So I haven't ran the total transformation system in a long time, in almost over a year. This is the system around health and wellness. So this is the 12-week program to transform your relationship with food, your relationship with exercise and movement, and your relationship with your own body and your own self-worth. It's a 12-week program. This is what started me in the coaching space. I really wanted to transform the way that I felt about my body. And I wanted to do it in a way that wasn't just forcing myself to eat a certain way, forcing myself to exercise a certain way, and still having those thoughts of this sucks. I wanted to do it in a way that I loved, that was for me, for my own body, where I was building up intuition of what felt good for me, that I was building up my own motivation, my own ability to say yes, my own follow through for me, not based off of what was working for my mom or for my grandma or for my sister. I laugh. Never mind. Yeah, I was doing the same workout as my grandma. She's lifting, I lifted 2-pound weights. I'm like, Good job, Grandma, because honestly, that is good for her, but I digress. I wanted to know how can I reclaim ownership of my body? And this is the program to do that. This is my signature one-on-one program. This has evolved significantly over the years as well, too. So with this program, it's a micro mind. So I think I'm going to cap it at 5 women. 5 feels good because I want this to feel like a good group of women where we feel supported, we feel love. We feel like there's a little kick in the pants when we need it from a group of women that love us, that are on the same journey. And also a group of women that we can bare our souls to. So that's where I want this to be a group of 5 women that are special, that are really special. And so it'll be a 12-week program. So it's starting on October 2nd. And so we have about 90 days left of the year. So I intentionally started it on that day. So that in 90 days, we're going through what is usually the hardest part of honoring our body going through the holidays. We're going to go through that together. We've got each other. There's a support system. There's accountability. You'll have a lot, or not live. There will be live weekly calls. And you'll also have some pre-recorded course material as well, too. So each module, there will be specific conversations to have, specific action steps, action guides, modules to watch, and then we'll deepen it together in a group setting and for some one-on-one, or not one-on-one, but some hot seat coaching. So that's the second program that I have coming up. And the third program that I'm coming up with, I'm really excited about, and it's called Allure. Allure. So in this conversation of owning and claiming to be the one, sometimes the way to get there's a lot of inner stuff to go through. There's a lot of inner muck to clean up about our own self-worth, about our value, of what we know we are capable of doing. There's understanding where we get triggered. There's understanding where we hold our power. What does our power look like? What does she look like every single day? How does she act? How does she talk? Where does our inner child come out that sabotages us, that says, look at me, like, hey, that's not fair. That's not fair. Understanding and actually decrypting when she comes out, because when she comes out, she actually sounds like an adult. That is not fair. Do not treat me like that. Sounds like an adult version of us, but really, that's not fair. Don't treat me like that. That's a fun conversation to have. We have these triggers inside of us, these little baby versions inside of us that haven't been healed, that are carrying around some pain for quite a while now. And they sound our badass. Remember our badass when I talked about halftime? Our badass is the one that does. And when we have this inner version of us that's been holding on to pain and trauma from years that are very childlike wounds, our badass will come in and protect us, which she is supposed to do. But it protects us and it puts us into situations that we're like, I did not show up the best way that or she meant it. We blame, we shame, we fault other people. And this is something that when I say we have to significantly raise our standards, we do not blame, shame, or fault when we are great women and we hold ourselves to high standards. So this is a program to work through all of that. Understanding sisterhood wound, motherhood wound, deeply understanding standards and boundaries as well too, upholding boundaries, how to communicate this as well too. This is Allure. And it's walking also too, our magnetism, holding ourselves as we are 100%. How do we hold ourselves through that in relationships with ourselves, with relationships with our partners? when it comes to things that do trigger us. This is all that we go deeply in this program. So Allure is a new program that's coming out in the next couple of months that I'm really excited about. So if any of these 3 programs, Allure is also a one-on-one program, by the way. So Allure and Halftime are one-on-one programs. The Total Transformation Micromind is a small group coaching. So 5 women in that. And then Allure and Halftime are for one-on-one. So very much just you and me, VIP treatment. Like, I want this to be an experience of a lifetime for you. I want this to magnetize your life, both whether or not you'll be working on your badass, which is the doing, and then the allure is our goddess version, who we're being. And the total transformation system is just really focusing in more so on your health and wellness in your own relationship with your own body specifically. So that is all I have for you. Thank you so much for being with me through the playbook. Again, not a lot of people get through it this full. So I honor you. I love you. And I hope some moment takes your breath away. Mwah.